Welcome to Spiritually Raw. We expose and explore controversial truths, myths, and theories surrounding the spirit world. Guests include QAnon experts, investigators, debunkers, and skeptics of the supernatural, unexplained, and flat-out unimaginable. Content discussed on this show is not necessarily the opinion of the cast of Spiritually Raw, and topics quite often are for mature audiences only. This show is not intended to replace any medical, financial, or legal advice and is for entertainment purposes only. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Hey everybody, what's going on? I know you have a show to watch, so let me get real quick into this with you. Okay, so Ascended Masters you're watching right now, browse, select, ascend. It's very easy to use. All you have to do is scroll down here. You're going to see the different categories, sessions, courses, products, entertainment, books, conscious business growth. All you do is you simply click on the category that's resonating with you or that you're in need of, and you're going to see a video directory of some of the greatest minds out there. And within 5 to 7 minutes, you'll find out who that person is, what their style is, and if they're going to help you on your journey called life. It's a very easy formula to follow right here. And also too, if you're one of those who does have a product or service that you think that will be a benefit to others and you'd like to be on Ascended Masters, our email is in the description below. It's askspirituallyraw@gmail.com. We'll set up a time to chat and see how you can make a difference in the world for people. So hope you're enjoying the site, everybody. Thanks for sharing this, and much love to you. And most importantly, enjoy the show. We'll see you next time. Hello, everybody. How are you? And welcome to Spiritually Raw. And as always, thank you so much for your energy exchange with us today. And we hope you woke to the most miracle morning and are also having the most fortunate day today. We have a treat for you today.
Old friend.
Yeah. Dr. Linda Salvin, when we first started out the show, she's come back. So it's really cool. And you probably, a lot of you already know about her. I mean, she's been, recognized as psychic to stars. I mean, she's been on, some of the first psychic lines that were out there. So a lot of you probably already remember, and if you don't, we'll have her links in the description so you can find out more about her. She is a metaphysical clinician and a psychic with healing, very powerful abilities. Again, her links will be in the description below. She's got a super easy site to navigate so you can stay connected and find out how she can fit into your journey called life. So,
and we just found out, Dr. Linda, over the next 30 days, you're going to see her on national television. She's going to be on multiple very well-known shows on national TV. So
and
keep
the
an eye
first
out.
thought out of your head when you see her is,
she looks familiar.
We saw her on Spiritually Raw. Didn't you? All right, cool. This is great, everybody. You're going to love this story. And we're going to talk a little bit about getting out of the paranormal. Okay, this is something that, with her experience and, really what she's been through and her service to her humanity, she's got a lot of wisdom to share with us. So let's, before we dive into there, if you kindly could hit that subscribe button and stay connected with us, the notification bell, you all know the drill, the sharing, liking, all that stuff, and all of our links to stay connected with us will be in the description below. Much love and enjoy the show. Dr. Linda, how are you?
Hey Jay, hi April, it's so good to see you. Yeah, we go back to what,
awesome
2012, somewhere back there.
Yeah.
How do you possibly look younger? For real, I mean, you look fantastic.
I'm a Capricorn. Capricorns age well. I'll be 68 in about 4 weeks.
God bless you. You're wearing it well.
Wonderful.
You're wearing it well, my dear friend. You really are.
And you have been through, let me tell you, for those who are like, who is Dr. Linda? You have had some of the most extraordinary life experiences that have taken you to where you are and all throughout your course of your career. And where do you want to start, Jay? You want to go backwards?
Yeah, let's get the audience to get to know you. If you could, I know there's so much time, so little to talk about it in, but let's go ahead and at least give them a backstory a bit. I know, from your walk-in experience to the plane crash and
that was, what, Dr. Linda, I have to tell you this, when you first came on the show way back when, it was our first experience of ever hearing the terminology walk-in. And remember how far out that was to us?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, but then you've had so many people on your show through the years that have talked about it, or
you were the first one.
You were definitely the first one that brought that out to us. But it made for great shows at that time, and still will again. So
it was so weird and so odd. And what is it? But what's happened with technology and the evolution of the metaphysical and spiritual and psychic and new age world is that it's all become real. That happened to me in 1981. But to backtrack, I'm born and raised in Los Angeles, got a bachelor's in health science at San Francisco State in 1975, went to Michigan for a master's in public health. Here's the big word, in epidemiology, which is the catchword today for the pandemic. And then 4 years out of grad school, I was on company business and environmental health, and the plane crashed. It was a Boeing 737. But that was the beginning of my psychic journey, because I wasn't psychic. I believe we're all intuitive, but we're not all psychic. Big difference. People think, oh, I've got intuition. I said, but it's not being psychic. So I was sitting at the airport with my partner, and I looked over at the plane and I said, doesn't it look like it could crack there? And he just said, you're tired from the day. It had been a hellish day for work. And an hour and a half later, the plane cracked in half on the 17th aisle, where I had the vision of the fuelage or exhaust settlement on the plane. We avoided collision with another plane taking off on the same runway, which the probability was 2 billion to 1 at John Wayne Airport, February 17th.
That gives me chills.
Yeah, when you get chills, you're getting the truth of spirit. When you get chills, you know somebody's telling the truth. I don't lie. People think I'm all full of it, but people will get goosebumps, or they start seeing orbs, or they hear things when I'm around, because my vibration is on a higher frequency than the average, and people don't get it. I scare people, and I don't even realize it, because it's a different feeling. And I can tell these, what I call lower ethereals, that are so unconscious, I don't even want to work with them anymore, because it's too much work to bring them to the light. But I didn't understand all this 40 years ago. I had no clue. Okay, I was an environmental health specialist for an insurance company. I knew there was a God, but I didn't pay attention to what the universe was saying. But that plane crash opened me up. Took 6 years to heal. April was referring to the walk-in. What that was, I didn't know. But when I slid down the ramp, I heard a loud voice that said, "Don't do this, do," and I was given a message. And then I hit my knees and I ran on the grass, and then I stopped. And in that part of Orange County, we were like just yards away from the freeway, so I could see the cars at the freeway. Then I panned and I saw the paramedics and all the beacons, and I thought, what is going on? And I saw the hangars, and I saw where the people were at the terminals, and I kept going, and then I turned and I saw a plane on its belly on fire. So I did this whole like 190. And I thought,
anyone not survive that, Dr. Linda?
No, we all survived. It was a miracle flight. It's even New York Times called it the miracle flight. We all should have died. I said, oh my God, I just survived a plane crash. The walk-in happened coming down the ramp, which looks like a river raft. I got to the door, and I said to the stewardess, "Where are the stairs?" Because there weren't any. Excuse my voice. I've been fighting all day because it's raining. So I slid down the ramp. This loud voice happened, but I heard and felt a whoosh whoosh when I hit the ground, and when I finally stopped to pan to see what happened. A part of me was 5 feet 8, like I stand, and the other part was about 50 feet out of me. I was split in half. So it was like a cyclops, you guys, where I saw life at 5'8" and life at 50 feet higher for 4 months. It lasted for 4 months, and that was the walk-in, which I didn't understand, but I had gone to one psychic prior to meeting this other psychic, and I thought my friend told the psychic everything about me. I knew nothing about psychics. And then a friend after the plane crash said, "Go see this woman. You may get chills again, April. Her back was to me when I walked into the apartment. She says, 'Oh, you're a walk-in.' I said, 'What's a walk-in?' She goes, 'It's when you're close to death and a soul exchanges.' I said, 'I was just in a plane crash.' She said, 'Come sit down.' I met her face to face. I think her name was Shirley, back in 81. And she explained that whatever entered me was a psychic. I said, 'I'm not a psychic.' Well, here we are 40 years later, and I'm known all over the world as a psychic.
Wow, that is so fascinating.
That is just
I had no clue. I knew I was confused. I knew I didn't feel right. I knew I didn't have a purpose. Nothing made sense. I was like a dangling puppet. I didn't know for years.
Did you have when the walk-in came through, the psychic walk-in came? Oh, so first of all, and I just want to clarify, because you actually, we've been knowing about this from you for 10 plus years now. When you had your walk-in, Dr. Linda, did that original soul depart? Did you, was there a sense of,
it feels like something left. If it's something,
is it
so fast, it's in a millisecond. It's like,
but do you, meaning the new walk-in, I know it's been a while now, but did that new soul retain the memories and everything, the feeling of that?
And that's what's upsetting to me, because I have to think really hard. Like if one of my family members or an old friend says, "Oh, remember," and I don't have that recall. It's like I have so much spiritual knowledge I'm so sorry.
You're all good.
I have detached pretty much from the physical world. I have 55 years worth of diaries, and I'm going to burn them because I read them, but what do I need all the history for now? Or I see photographs and I don't have the emotional memory that I used to have the emotional attachment to. I can start letting go of all that. And we do that as the process of life anyway. And during the pandemic, I've called this the hallway of transformation. But my own evolution has shifted so much. Yes, we let go of the past. Yes, we have memories. Yes, we have nostalgia, but I'm not connected like that anymore. And I used to be really nostalgic and really passionate about things. But now it's like, stay in the moment, get going. We don't have that much time. I mean, who cares about the past? We've been there, done that. Slowly let go. But the walk-in experience, AJ and April, at that time, this is pre-internet. Internet hit in 1996. This was 1981. I was 27 years old. And if you do the research on the age of 27, how many rock stars overdosed at the age of 27? There's a whole thing about 27.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Saturn return. So my big thing, I survived it. But while I was trying to figure it all out and going to therapy, and I had PTSD and I couldn't go to sleep and I couldn't wake up and I didn't like the sound of planes. And I mean, it's just fear, unbelievable fear and anxiety. Even though I knew I was okay, I couldn't understand why I didn't feel like me. Okay. And I didn't know where to go. So I started going back on job interviews. I got fired from my job 9 months later, which freaked me out because I wasn't prepared to lose my corporate job. And during that time, I did a showcase. I was offered a record deal. And I had to turn it down because I was in a lawsuit and I was too crazed and too confused. I didn't understand. But like God was coming and saying, hey, you don't need to do that anymore. You need to go over here. And I'm like, I don't know yet. And then my lawyer said this, wait till the case. There was so much conflict. I wish now I said, screw you, I'm going this way because God said. I even said to the therapist, I think God put me on that plane. He goes, well, God, what does God have to do with it? Well, hello, it's all about God, right? But nobody talked like this back then.
Oh, God, no.
I had no mentors. I didn't know.
You probably had no support system.
It was one person, and it was that one psychic that gave me a little bit. And she told me to read Ruth Montgomery's book, Strangers Among Us, all about walk-ins. So that became my Bible. Then as I started to get stronger, I went to UCLA for a job interview back in epidemiology, and I got hit by a fire truck. You remember that part of the story?
Yes.
So the fire truck, had another out-of-body experience. I start laughing and crying at the same time. The captain who was driving came over and said, you okay, miss? And I'm crying. I said, oh yeah, last time in a plane crash and I'm getting hit by a fire truck. I mean, and then I went to another depression, but another level psychically. And then a year later, I got rear-ended and it took me again to another place. And then in 1984, I totaled a car on a rainy night. I was working for one of the largest talent agencies in the world. And as God is my witness, tell me if you get chills, April, I spun out and I said, I just want to go home because I'm so tired. And this white light went from my head. I was driving a Camaro at the time. Went through the Camaro, and this loud voice that spoke to me coming down the ramp said, you can come with us now or stay and do. And I was given the same message. So the paramedics got me out of my car and I started screaming, they want me off the planet. They want me off the planet. Because I didn't know what was going on. And they shipped me over to UCLA emergency and I had to call people and they said, another accident, Linda. I just didn't stop. So I was like, I know now I was being indoctrinated. I was being initiated somewhere out there on that side. They chose me to help in a different capacity. I don't know why. I don't know, but it's like an initiation. Now
yeah, is your walk-in your higher self stepping in? Or do you think?
No, I think it's separate. I try to analyze it. I look in the mirror. I remember who I was in college or what I look like, and I look at pictures of why can't I have that body? We all do. We age and we kind of gain weight and we don't look the same as those cute little teeny boppers, right? But when it comes to certain memories, a lot of the pain that caused me upset throughout life, criticism, bullying, judgment, whatever I went through, most of that has gone. So I've healed from that because that poor person that was so put down by some of the people that I grew up with, separated. And I evolved kind of like, you know, the caterpillar turning into the butterfly, which is why I got butterflies all over my website, my background, because the butterfly is the resurrection, the transformation. But each incident took me to a higher level. I became super psychic after that white light experience. And the next day, for whatever reason, the entertainment agency called and fired me. And I'm like, what? I was just on an accident. What do you mean? I mean, all I did was answer phones, and I couldn't even do that. I don't know. But then I started reading the books, and then I started going to a couple of seminars. I was trying to figure out, why is this happening? No shrink could tell me. And, you know, nobody had the answers back then. And it wasn't like everybody was onto this. But then I went to a past life seminar with Brad, not Brad Steiger, the other one that did, can't remember his name now, it was in like 82. And I thought, well, maybe this is a past life thing and I'm starting about karma. So I started looking, but that didn't fill me up either. I swear, one day I didn't know what to do. So I said, okay, God, I don't know what the F you want me to do. Show me. Because I was looking. And nothing made sense. And I just let go. I let God, whatever God was in my world, to let this universal energy guide me. If I was supposed to run into somebody at a restaurant and talk, that was it for the day. If I was supposed to have an interview, fine. If I was supposed to go here, I just let it happen. And then from 1984 to 1989, I bounced around. I went back to my music. I worked at a university, but nothing felt right then. Something happened. I got in another accident on a freeway. There were six cars involved. And like God opening the Red Sea for the Israelites way back then, all the freeway on a Saturday night, all the traffic just stopped. I made a 3-point turn, found the people on the side of the road, got their numbers. And yeah, I won the case because they hit me. Some guy crossed the line, but I was spinning. And then I had this horrible headache, and some doctor said, oh, it's going to take about 2 years to heal. I'm like, I'm not spending another 2 years. I just spent a decade trying to figure out this stuff. Found a chiropractor, got out of pain. Next thing I know, somebody said, oh, you got to call Psychic Friends Network. You're so psychic. I said, I'm not psychic. But the truth is, for those 12 years, and this is what your listeners need to know, when they knock on your door or you're starting to hear things or see things, don't run from it. I ran for 12 years. I didn't want it. I didn't understand it. I didn't know what to do with it. And I'm not a gypsy on the boulevard with candles. I do have a candle magic line, but not like what they do, right? But it was the evolution. It was going through literally hell. I could not figure it out. Then I got on Psychic Friends Network with Dionne Warwick, which was the beginning of the psychic world.
That was really the beginning.
That
of
was a
everything.
900 line.
All of us,
right?
all of us. That was the very first one. And then everybody was doing psychic lines at 900 lines. And you could, you know, work for 40 cents a minute or whatever. But then they put me in the infomercial. So then that took me to another level. Then I became visible. Then people started calling me. Then from there, I got into LA radio. They interviewed like 300 psychics one week, and they chose me, and I got the nighttime gig, a guy by the name of Fred Missman, who's still my mentor today after all these years. He's now retired. And he trained me in broadcasting. It was a major LA rock station. So from there, when that thing ended after about 6 months, he taught me how to broker. So I went to different stations. The next thing you know, within 2 years, I was in 400 markets.
That's
so I became the #1 radio psychic back in 1994 to 2009. 2009, before I met you guys, was just the tip when YouTube was launched.
Exactly.
So I was on KLSX, a CBS station. I was on KBC, an ABC station. I was on all the network stations, like real radio, right? Broadcast radio. But they got rid of talk radio because the internet was taking over. But I didn't understand the internet. And somebody was working for me, says, you got to get into YouTube. Well, at the time you said YouTube, I had just lost the job at the station. My mom had just died, and there was no way with all this happening, like, who am I, where am I, what am I going to do now? Am I going to start what's called YouTube? 12 years later, now I'm getting into YouTube. But it's just, I was a pioneer. I was a step ahead. The other part of the story is in 1991, I had emergency surgery. I was performing in town here. I was with a friend of mine, and I collapsed. I was hemorrhaging. and I don't mind saying it, but I had to have an emergency hysterectomy or I was going to die. I had the choice. The doctor said, it's this or that. And do you want kids? That was the first question. It's like, well, why? Well, if you don't do this, this is going to happen. So I gave up that and I threw myself in my career. But after the surgery, I became a healer. All this energy poured out of my hands. I would touch people, they'd heal. I had a schizophrenic, a multiple personality disorder girl, had 26 personalities. I put her back into one. Her mother flew in from Arizona and thanked me. You know, she said she worked for a psych ward, and she goes, why don't you go to help the doctors? I said, they'll never understand this. I didn't even know what I was talking about. It just happened. Then in 1996, this brings us to the paranormal. I had more surgery. I had this surgery because of some clogging it wasn't carpal tunnel, it was synovial stuff. But after that, I had somebody come to my home, asked me about his deceased wife. I said, oh, I don't do work like that. Next thing I know, this girl's coming through me. The guy starts crying. He said, you look like her, you sound like her. Those are her words. That's what she would say. I didn't even know what happened. So I called a noted psychic that I knew. She goes, oh, well, welcome to the world of transmediumship. Plane crash psychic, fire truck, more psychic, totaling the car, more psychic. Surgeries, healer. That happened. The mediumship happened after I had 100 tumors removed from my hips and thighs of lipomas, angiolipomas. They're little fat deposits with blood cells, their own blood supply. So you got to get them out.
Yeah.
So every trauma elevated me. But when I started channeling, you guys, I did it for 22 years, not just playing with it. It just happened.
Did you have any adverse effects
Yes.
from channeling dead people?
Yes.
Can you share that? What were your experiences?
Because I want to warn people. They all think it's fun to do the Ouija board, which I can bring in my mother and a couple of rock stars that I've known that are on the other side. And they give me keywords to know that it's them rather than people just playing around thinking they've got a spirit. Very dangerous. You have to know how to work it. The mediumship, I loved it. I have boxes of testimonials that are eventually going into a book that people have written verbatim from the channeling. I would feel drained. I would feel elated. The noise in the background is my dog. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
That's all right. No worries.
Penny, sit. I would get sick. For example, I can remember 3. One time I didn't sleep for like 3 days. I was up and down, up and down, up and down. And when the girl finally called for her appointment, I said, you know what? Let's call her Susie. I said, I'm so tired. I don't know if I can do this today. She goes, you're tired? Why? I said, I haven't slept. She goes, oh, my husband died of sleep apnea.
Oh.
Another one, and I just found her letter from the 90s. She's probably in her 80s now, and I tried to find her. I think she's in Washington. And I was vomiting, and I said, what was wrong with your friend? Because I've had an upset stomach and I've been vomiting all day. Oh, she died of stomach cancer.
So you were really
I
taking
would
on
pick
physical
up.
embodiments, right? Oh my
Yes,
gosh.
I brought in the spirit that clearly that I picked up their stuff. I had a headache, another one had a brain aneurysm. So I learned to correlate. Back
Yeah.
up the surgeries. When I was healing people, I used to hold hands, pull the energy. Oh, I'm so tired. So you know, like how you slap your hands on your
You're embedding it into
right,
your.
but I didn't know because
But you didn't even know when you were
Yeah,
channeling.
that's what.
When you were channeling, Dr. Linda, were you always pretty conscious when they were coming through, or were there times?
Yeah. Because right here on the right side of my head, I'm not the type that does party lines. I call it party lines. Don't ask me to get John Lennon. If Oko or Sean or any of the other family members came and said, this is who I want, yes. But if I just they say John Lennon, Robert F. Kennedy, Jesus, I don't believe any of it. I don't. I think there's words that a lot of people I know, I've watched the show, I know it's out there, but I've learned that you got to ask permission and they don't always come through. And then when they do, I've dictated suicide notes. I've dictated spaghetti recipes or sauce recipes. I have found things lost that people thought they'd never find in a shag carpet, you know, like a diamond. I told one guy, oh, your mom had an abortion. No, she didn't. Yeah, no, she lost a kid. Your dad was wearing a plaid at the time. It's all documented. Lives here in LA. He went back to his mom, said, did you ever lose a child? She said, yes. Did dad wear a lot of plaid? Yes. I got that descriptive, but it was beautiful. I felt happy helping people because I know what grief feels like. I lost my mom and friends. We all lose. It's horrible. Dogs. cats, turtles, birds. We lose what we love.
Mm-hmm.
And I can bring them all in. But it got to a point by 2018, I felt 99. I looked haggard.
Well, remember I said I would say to Jay, I'm like, because every now and again I would see your messages or we would chat on messages. Like,
we
Dr.
always kept
is
in
not
touch.
doing well at all.
No.
But it was like frequently, like I could be saying, like, she's not doing well, she's not feeling well, she's not feeling. So you were having all of these side effects from bringing in all these external energies.
Because it's like a sponge. And Allison, I mean, people want more and more and more and more and more.
Right.
Give me more. It becomes addicting.
Yes.
You know? Everybody wants it. Everybody wants more. We can all be psychically addicted. Tell me, is he going to call? Is he going to marry me? Am I going to get the job? Am I going to have kids? Am I, is my mom on the other side think of me? Is my dog okay? Is my stomach? One girl just this week's been texting me. I knew she had horrible problems. I said, I can't diagnose. But it's still text like I'm a 24-hour hotline. I said, if you want more, please book in a session. Of course, she disappeared, but they can take.
Yeah.
But the drain, and you're right, because when we were talking, and there were times I didn't know what was wrong with me. I didn't know. I was so almost possessed by evil, negative, like a serpent was strangling me.
Mm-hmm.
And when I finally said, I got to stop, there's something going on here that I've lost my life.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about the money.
I knew it was bad because you didn't even want to come on the show because I kept saying, why don't you come back on the show? Why didn't you come back? And
remember, I couldn't.
Yeah.
I had no life left in me.
Dr. Linda, let me ask you this then, for the people that are doing it out there, like looking, it's a different world, right? So everybody's all trying to tap in, tune into something. And it's obviously very like, hey, if I can tap into the dead and do that.
It's not that easy. They think they are.
It's not that. So let me ask you something. Does pretty much, does a lot of the people like in your industry, do they really like kind of like you, do they not know that they're literally absorbing all that? Hello, everybody. How are you? Much love to you. It's very good to see you and hang out with you. I hope you're having a fantastic day here. So let me give you some updates about what's going on with Spiritually Raw. So as you can see right here, right, a new facelift. I hope you like it. Okay, so this is the new facelift, the image of the site. So watch Evolve Ascend. It's very cool, very streamlined. Everything's broken down in very easy catalogs, playlists for you to watch whatever kind of topic you're looking for to help you on your journey called life. So let's check it out together. All right. So literally here you go, the home page right here. You can scroll down. If you're already a member, same login and password as you normally do. If you're not, you can click right here, join now, get a 3-day free trial, check out and binge on the whole network as much as you want. I hope you like it, and I'm sure you will, but that's 3 days on us. Okay, so don't forget to check that out if you're not already. Here's some videos that are recent that we just put up there that you'll be able to check here. Now, also too, I want to go back here real quick, catalog. So this is how we've broken it down for you. Super simple and very easy playlist, new releases, intuitive psychic mediums, the Great Awakening, metaphysical, current events, 2020 videos for those of you who want to take a trip down memory lane and see how that all worked out. Prosperity, special report, I mean, so on and so forth. I mean, it goes on and on and on. We have really brought together the best minds out there that are coming in to entertain us, but then to break it down so simple, again, to help us on our journey called life. So this is really cool here. So also, I want to point out here for those of you who have actually said, hey, I do want to have my own show. We also have a master course preview, and that's there to designed to teach all of you who would like to have your own show, or maybe even need some help in being interviewed when you are on other shows too. But let's go down a little further. I want to show you something else. So for all of you out there who have Roku, you simply need to click here and you can now watch us on Roku TV. Coming soon within the coming weeks, within probably a week or so, you'll see us on the iPhone, Apple. We're streaming everywhere. You'll be able to download the app soon on Apple. But as of right now, like I said, you can stream us anywhere there. So, and these are some examples of the topics that you're going to be watching when you do go to spirituallyraw.live. So thank you very, very much for hanging out with us as you always do. Really do hope you are having the most miracle mornings and are having the most fortunate days. And this really is bringing you a lot of value. And again, helping you on your journey called life. So thanks again, and we will see you all next time.
We'd like to share a story. While it may sound fictional, it's very real and happening right now in front of our very eyes. It's called The Great Awakening. Our sisters and brothers that come on Spiritually Raw are doing everything to help expand global consciousness, and in many cases putting everything on the line to share their messages about what's happening around the world for the greater good of humanity, while exposing the truth of the deep state and the dark forces behind it all. We are living in the most unbelievable times. Some may even say biblical, scary for many and yet exhilarating for others. Together we are taking part in getting everyone acclimated to the Great Awakening process and the exciting new discoveries that lie ahead. The sad part is many of our amazing guests are being heavily censored, socially shamed, and outright banned on many platforms for exposing the truth and piercing the veil. By becoming a viewer, you bring your powerful energy towards this global movement of other truth seekers. If you're resonating with our show, please let us know by hitting the like button, sharing, subscribing, turn on the notification, and leave some comments. Together, we will turn the universal key to global harmony and create a unified world. And remember, tune in often, tell all your friends, and most importantly, may all your dreams come true. Thanks, and God bless Patriots worldwide.